What does Degreaser do? And is it effective? And if we could see, what would that process look like? Well, I think it is time for one of my famously underwhelming experiments. Here on the channel, we're very fortunate to be supported by Muc-Off. However, these comparisons are valid irrespective of the brand. The marketplace is awash, if you'll excuse the puns, with options. So, let's find out a quickfire explanation for a quickfire experiment. What we're going to do is introduce grease into 3 different substances. We have water, which some people might just hose their bike down with. We have some bike cleaner, which you'd use all over your frame and other componentry. And we have some drivetrain specific biodegradable degreaser. So in this simple experiment, when I add the grease to the water, well, we know the grease is really good at resisting moisture. So I imagine it won't break down and it will remain largely unchanged. The interesting one for me is actually the bike wash. How effective is it at breaking down stubborn, well, in this case, 100% pure grease? We use it all over on our bike, and I wonder how effective it will be when compared to the drivetrain specific degreaser, which I imagine will be a lot stronger. I think it will be really interesting to see how a concentrated degreaser goes against its complete antipode, the concentrated grease. When we look at the results, we're going to look at the discoloration of the liquid and whether the grease itself has broken down into clumps, whether it's melted away to nothing, or whether it's stayed largely intact. So let's get on with it. Here we have our grease, and it's everything you'd want an assembly grease to be. It's hard-wearing, waterproof, and biodegradable. Now, each of these things, all 3 of them, including the water, believe it or not, are biodegradable. A couple of years ago, it didn't seem like there were that many options for biodegradable degreaser, but it's great to see it come to the table. So I'm gonna add a few squirts to each one. I'm gonna go make a bloody strong cup of tea, enjoy it in another room, and then come back and we'll see what it looks like. Now time for the half-time stir. Oh no. Okay, so time for the results. Well, let's start off with the water. The water, I mean, it looks like a brain suspended in a jar. It's pretty much unaffected by the water and hasn't broken it down at all. So sometimes when you hose your bike down, including the drivetrain, often it will shift large pieces of debris and mud, but in terms of those grease stains you're left with, well, that would be why. I'm actually quite impressed by the bike wash. You can see, I mean, if we give it a little stir, it's largely broken down, and I think I'm gonna do it. The pieces, they break up in your hand now, which is quite impressive. I think what's interesting to note between the two is because the grease is floating in the bike wash, it's gonna be, always be broken down by, well, it's not getting bottlenecked at the bottom. I don't know how much degreaser there is right at the bottom of that flute there. So maybe that's worth noticing, but very, very impressive. This stuff, however, if we give it a stir, and hopefully you can see just how much it's broken down, like ash in the wind, it's really not much at all. And I think that's pretty incredible, to be honest with you. And just to think that that's not by, we gave it a stir halfway through, but that's not agitating the dirt like you would perhaps do with a small brush on your drivetrain. So these two are going to be effective at breaking down grit and grime in a way that water could never be. So there we have it, all wrapped up from one of my famous underwhelming science experiments. I hope you enjoyed it. It was certainly quite interesting for me. Now, if you want to stay with the channel, click down here for G Atherton's drool-worthy race bike from Red Bull Hardline. It's an absolute beauty. As always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and get in the comments below. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.